For some reason, people who promote the carnivore diet can only obsess with extremes. Hey, everybody, I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. And again, this is a topic that I'm covering because I do discuss this really popular and detrimental fad quite a bit. And what's interesting is that a lot of the people flock to my videos who support this to defend it. And I've noticed absolute patterns in the way that they respond. And when I state this, I want to be clear. I don't think animal protein is bad. I think animal protein is phenomenal for body composition. So again, if they're going to promote a pro-protein approach, well, hey, I'm not disagreeing. I've put out a lot of data about protein overfeeding and the effects on body composition. I've discussed the studies. There's no disagreement there. And I don't think there's even a scientific disagreement there at this point. Again, the data is pretty strongly supports that people who want to get lean with a good amount of muscle, protein overfeeding can actually be extremely beneficial. But I also think that plants and vegetables are extremely beneficial, and the evidence for this is extremely strong at the world level. Okay? And there's no evidence whatsoever that cutting plants out will have any positive benefits on your health. It only appears to be detrimental in the long term. But the thing is, what's fascinating, when these people come in, they argue against the vegan diet over and over and over and over and over and over. Like anytime you bring up the negative parts of the carnivore diet, which is mainly, it's not the eating some lean meat, okay? It's the absurdity of cutting out fruits and vegetables, okay? That's actually insane, and that's an extremely bad idea, okay? It's also hey, we're going to force feed extra saturated fat, and they go to the point of trying to do things that no carnivore has ever even done, right? So they only have these extremes, well, we're going to eat tons of butter. Oh, it's grass-fed, so it's fine. It's like, what are you talking about? Do you not understand that's a highly refined food, and saturated fat is not good for you in large amounts? And even if it was in a natural state, that's not even a natural state anymore. So if they want to argue about natural eating, butter is literally a refined saturated fat where most of the nutritional value has been stripped out and it's been turned into a form of saturated fat that absorbs faster. Therefore, just like all these other foods that absorb faster, there are negative effects. Like, this is bad. But they argue for these things, but the one that gets me is the vegan stance. Like, every time you discuss the carnivore diet, they argue against veganism. And I don't want to make too extreme of a response or go into hyperbole. That's literally like saying, if you make an anti-heroin video of people coming in and explaining how bad for you Coke is as a retort. I mean, do they understand that? Like, they don't seem to grasp the concept of these are extremes. The middle ground there would be, how about you don't do any recreational drugs? Wouldn't that be better? So, and I know that that's not the best comparison because, again, a fad diet or an extremist diet is not necessarily on that level, right? It's not on the level of, addictive, poisonous drugs. But certainly could be a comparison made there between junk food and that. And ironically, here's the funny part. Both diets tend to cut out the serious junk food. The problem is they're also cutting out really beneficial foods and occasionally throw junk foods back in large amounts. That's kind of the problem. But at their core principle, all of them are telling you not to sit around eating pizza and pies and cakes and ice cream. Okay? Something they both get right. Because realistically, that's where our problems are. But the vegans don't get the idea that lean animal proteins are not hurting anyone. This goes over their head. And the carnivores can't get over the fact that vegetables aren't hurting anyone. Again, And even if they're struggling with problems with vegetables, it's because they've messed up their gut and they need to heal their gut, and then they can get back to eating large amounts of vegetables like we should be doing. But that's the thing that blows my mind. They bring up the vegan diet over and over and over. And I mean, it will be page-long retorts. And it's like, I'm not promoting a vegan diet. Most of the people who are against the carnivore are not promoting a vegan diet. And that's what they're delusional. They don't seem to understand that the carnivore diet and the vegan diet are not the only two methods of eating that exist. Okay? I mean, and let's be realistic. If you're going to come to fitness pages, what's the fitness diet? Like the long-term bodybuilding fitness bro diet. I don't know, chicken, rice, and broccoli. So you better be willing to argue against that. Like if you're going to take some extremist diet and talk about all the benefits, and you're going to come do it on a fitness channel or a fitness page, that's promoting bodybuilding and powerlifting and things like that, you don't need to be arguing against the vegan diet. You need to be arguing against the chicken and rice diet. You better have some data, because by and large, that's what more fitness types gravitate towards, and it has a higher track record of success. You want to see the leanest, most jacked, strongest, impressive human beings on the face of the earth who blow all of you out of the water, both you crazy carnivores and your vegans, on general principle. Okay? Yeah, that's where you need to be looking. So that's what you need to be arguing against, because that's more the position that I'm coming from. And I'm not telling people to do that exact way of eating, but that is the perspective I'm coming from, that balanced whole food diets built around quality carbs, fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins are superior. Superior in every way. No contest. Hands down superior. But they can't seem to grasp that normal, healthy, proven eating patterns is what's being promoted. But they don't want to argue against that. They only seem to grasp the whole vegan thing. And I think a lot of it is because the carnivore movement itself is like a religious cult-like response to veganism. And it's the same mindset, right? The same crazy people who got caught up in veganism, it's the same personality type and same mental illness that has gone over to carnivore. And in fact, many of them are reformed vegans. So we see the exact same mindset. They cannot seem to conceptualize that anything exists between the two extremes. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.